Miss UJ APK 2023. Ma'am, how has it been?
Title. What a heavy title. It's been amazing. It's been more than what I expected.
Yeah.
It's been a dream come true. Like, it's just been such a transformative journey for me.
Yeah.
Because one thing I learned, and I remember because after I won, literally the next morning I had my first appearance. And I just got this crowd like last night.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do.
Didn't sink in yet.
Literally. So I had my first appearance, and at that event I wanted to sit at the back. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, they just invited me last minute, no one knows me.
Yeah.
But one thing I learned is that when you have this title, people respect you so much.
That's
right?
Hello, bestie. Welcome to another inspiring episode of the Campus Life. My name is Sally Sitole, and today I am joined by Miss UJ APK. It's been 11 months since she has been crowned, and of course, you can imagine that there has been a lot on his schedule, managing school and managing the responsibilities of being an ambassador for UJ. But hey, I've been waiting for this interview to happen, and finally, I could say Miss Kwandiwe Sobuwa is joining me today. Kwandiwe, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I'm going to call you Kwandi for today.
No problem. I prefer it actually.
Okay, you're looking beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Sure, that crown looks amazing. It looks really, really amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Sure, you are going to be giving away your crown
I don't want
next month. How does it feel, the fact that you'll be parting ways?
I'm excited, obviously, for the next queen to see what she's gonna bring to the table. But at the same time, like, I don't want to leave. Like, it's been such an amazing journey. Like, obviously, you can't be Miss UJ forever.
Yeah.
I've served my time. I've done my purpose. It's time to hand over now. So I'm very excited, but also like, I loved this so much. So it's very hard having to part ways.
Yeah, but let's take it back. That sound effect. Let's take it back to where it all started, right? When you were a child, 5 years old, how was the environment like? How was your childhood? Where do you come from? Where were you playing in the streets? What kind of games were you playing?
So I come from Eastern Cape, like in the deep villages. That's where I grew up, in a very small family.
Yeah.
And I'm an only child, right? So because my family is so small and I'm an only child, there was no one to play with. So I was the entertainment for my whole family. I was doing shows for them. I was dancing. I was doing everything. Like, I still think I'm still the star of my family. Like, so even like growing up, that's how it was. I was always that girl. Like, I was always just making sure that I'm entertaining myself in some way or form, right? And I feel like that's where I gained my confidence, because my family, literally everything that I did was wow. First grandchild, first daughter, so everything was like wow, wow, wow. So yeah, that's where I grew up in Eastern Cape. I learned so much, played in the dirt. Guys, we used to cook with the sand. That's where I come from.
You know, make some cakes,
Make some
scones.
cake, literally.
Yeah, but your family, were they supportive in just your journey growing up, your school career, the modeling industry, your hobbies when you were a child? How supportive were they?
They were very supportive. I remember I mentioned to my grandmother once that I want to do public speaking. Well, I didn't phrase it as public speaking, but I told her I want to be a presenter on TV. I want to go on your TV. I want to be that presenter. And she started forcing me to do, we had little competitions at church where you have to like recite like Bible verses and everything. So she forced me to do those. I was like, no, why are you doing this? Like, no, how are you going to speak on TV if you can't start here?
Yeah, that's
People
true.
don't just get on TV and start speaking, like it starts now. So I feel like they were very supportive, like an idea that I might have, like, oh, I'm thinking of doing this. I'm thinking of playing netball. They're going to run, get me the shoes. So I feel like they honestly gave me the platform to just explore on my interests and always been so supportive.
Yeah, you know, when you're mentioning reciting Bible verses, you're reminding me of my childhood now. it's literally a memory that I totally forgot, but you just like bring it back now, because we also had to do the same thing. And when you like recite the Bible verse properly, you will get like coupons.
Yes.
And then during school holidays, they'll do like this thing called the Holiday Club, where we come for a
Yes.
week, and then we just interact with like biblical games and just learn about the Word of God, devotions and so forth. And with those coupons, you can buy like things like a Bible,
Yes.
T-shirts or games and those things. So it was an interesting journey, but it's not about me today. It's definitely not about me. But then how was your high school journey like?
My high school journey, I feel like I grew into myself a lot in high school. So I moved from Eastern Cape to Joburg in primary school. So that was the transition state for me, trying to find myself, trying to learn English properly. But I feel like once I got to high school, I had more confidence in myself and I was just exploring everything. If you go back to my high school yearbook, guys, I mean, every picture, I did this. I was doing debating, I Stedford this. I was just trying out, trying to see what can I be, who can I be in all of this.
In all of those scenarios, what was happening, trying this, trying that, trying this, trying that, what would you say your pivotal moment was in terms of realizing yourself, in terms of saying, okay, I think this is what I'm meant to be doing, this is my purpose, this is where God wants me to venture into?
I feel like I didn't realize that when I was trying all those many things. I actually realized my purpose when I sat and did nothing, which was during my gap year. So I feel like during that year, I worked at a children's home. And from there, my world was expanded more than anything, because we know, yes, there's people in need, but working with them on a day-to-day basis had so much effect on me. So all the goals that I had in high school, they all flipped and everything changed. I was like, okay, yes, being a physiotherapist, I can make a difference, but there's so many other ways to make a difference. So I feel like it really opened up my, horizons. So it wasn't through trying everything, but that moment of stillness during my gap year definitely made me find my purpose, I would say.
But, a question that's, that I'm reminded of is that in that moment of you taking a gap year, obviously your high school friends, some of them have progressed, they went to varsity. Didn't you get a feeling of you feeling like you are behind?
I did.
And you are, missing out, you're losing out on something, you have not achieved something. How did you navigate that feeling?
I feel like I've always been a year younger than everyone else.
Okay.
So I kept telling myself, no, it's fine. Yes, I'm being left behind and I'm missing out on these opportunities, but I'm still with my age group. So it's not like I'm being left behind all the way. But I feel like how I dealt with that was keeping myself busy. I don't want to be sitting at home watching what my friends are doing. This is what they're doing. I try to make a life for myself. Obviously, you say, oh my goodness, I wish that was me. Like, it's supposed to be my first day of school. But I try to keep myself busy so that I'm not, so occupied on what everyone else is doing and what it is I'm missing out on.
I like that. I like that a lot. So you went from dreaming to become a physiotherapist to now a whole different industry as a whole. You decided to go to UJ. Actually, speaking about going to UJ, why UJ?
I just feel like I wanted something different, because I feel like in high school we're told, go to Stellenbosch, go to this, go to this. And then I was just like, also even the course that I applied for, at all these universities, they have politics, economics, and philosophy. I was like, that's not what I'm looking for. UJ had exactly what I was looking for: politics, economics, and technology. Whereas I felt like I'm not selling myself short. Yes, I have the politics part, which is something that I really want. But like the economics, the technology parts, like makes me more equipped. And for me, that's what sold. And I was like, okay, UJ is it. That's where I'm going.
This is where we're ending the deal.
Literally.
But how has it been entering into a world that you never thought you will go into?
It's been very scary. I won't lie. When I first got here, this place was so big. I went to a very small high school where everyone knew each other. There were 20 of us in a class. So when I got here, like, it was so big and I was so scared. And I feel like I was very scared of losing myself in the process, because unlike high school and varsity, hey, no one like looks at you like that on a day-to-day basis. So I was very scared that I was going to lose myself. But I feel like I was very fortunate enough to stay on campus, because once you stay on campus, they show you all the resources that UJ has to make you feel like you're not alone. There's so much support structures. So I feel like that definitely helped in my transitioning into the university.
Sure. Okay, and how has it been? You're doing a final year now, you know, academically, the stresses, the joys, seeing the results, and, you know, failing some modules, passing some modules, stopping some modules. How has it been?
It's been a journey. It's been so difficult. I feel like nothing is easy. People say, oh my goodness, it's a BA degree.
Yeah.
It's not just a BA
Yeah.
degree, guys. Everything is very difficult. But I feel like it's not the content that's difficult. It's the quantity. There's no time. And you think you have the time and you don't.
Yeah.
Like you walk into class, you're like, oh my goodness, it's 30 slides. I can cover those in like 3 hours. And then you take the whole day doing those 30 slides.
Yeah.
So I feel like it just took a lot of like failing more than anything until you got into a rhythm of, oh, okay, I know this is my strength, this is my weakness. But I feel like I've gotten to a point where I know what my strengths and weaknesses are, and the workload is getting easier because of that. But I
Yeah.
had to fail first to get there.
So, did you fail a module at some point or a test at some
Not a
point?
test.
Yeah.
I failed a test. I got a 36%.
Yeah.
I cried.
Oh no!
I was like, not me. Not me. I cried.
Yeah.
And then I allowed myself, you know, to cry about it and be sad about it. But then I went back to the drawing board. I was like, okay, what really went wrong? And I feel like I just found that I left so many things for last minute. You're like, oh, I know this topic. I've got this. I'll do touch-ups before the test.
Yeah.
Like, don't think everything is like, yes, you may know the topic, but like, make sure you truly know it. So I feel
Yeah.
like that was my downfall. When I feel like I'm familiar with something, I tend to take a step back and be more relaxed. So just like, even if you feel like you know this, you guys did this last semester, do it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
There is a reason why it's coming back this semester.
So, what is your strategy now?
My strategy is I never leave any stone unturned.
Okay.
Literally, I never leave any stone unturned. I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And also, I got into this habit of calling my mom and
Yeah.
explaining to her. I'm like, you know, when public policy, this is what they do. So I talk about it
Yeah.
like in everyday conversations so that it stays ingrained.
Yeah.
So I don't only like focus on my books when I'm studying. So I try to bring it into my everyday life. Like my friends and I do that. We lecture each other. Like, actually, let me tell you why the rand depreciated.
Tell me, girl. Tell me why the rent depreciated. No, this is good. I like it. Wow. I think, you know, integrating the books or what you learn, the knowledge on the textbooks to your everyday life is I think it's a good hack into
Yes.
understanding the concept that they're trying to teach us at school. Hey, I think a lot of people should implementing this. Guys,
Try it out.
here are the tips, okay?
Try it
you
out.
you must use them. You must use them to your best of your ability. But let's talk about the sash that you are currently wearing at the moment. Miss UJ APK 2023. Ma'am,
What
how
a
has it
heavy
been?
title. What a heavy title. It's been amazing. It's been more than what I expected.
Yeah.
It's been a dream come true. Like, it's just been such a transformative journey for me.
Yeah.
Because one thing I learned, and I remember because after I won, literally the next morning I had my first appearance. And I just got this crowd like last night.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do.
Didn't sink in yet.
Literally. So I had my first appearance, and at that event, I wanted to sit at the back. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, they just invited me last minute. No one knows me.
Yeah.
But one thing I learned is that when you have this title, people respect you so much,
That's
right? But that initial respect from seeing a crown and a sash, it shouldn't stop there. Give people more reasons to want to work with you, to want to respect you even more. So I feel like for me, that's one thing that I learned. Like, it opens so many doors, but you have to keep the doors open. So that's
Yeah.
when you separate yourself from the crown. Like,
Yeah.
okay, now me as a Kwandiwe, I have to make sure, yes, the crown got me into the space. How do I keep this? How do I get these people to work with me more? How do I open
That's
up more
true.
opportunities for myself?
Yeah.
So I had to learn that, and it's been so fun. It's
Yeah.
been so busy.
Yeah.
It's been very busy.
But what is the highlight in this past 11 months?
The highlight, I think it was definitely the trip to America. That was definitely the highlight. That
Yeah.
was amazing.
What was it all about?
So it was a leadership exchange program. So I was actually invited onto this trip because they were looking at different leadership structures within UJ. So the fact that I am Miss UJ and I'm also the chairperson of my residence on campus, they felt like, okay, she has some leadership expertise. So they
Yeah.
asked me to join them for this exchange program, and it was amazing. We went to the University of Cincinnati, and basically for a week we're just connecting with different, leadership structures in their universities, comparing how they do things versus to how we do things. And I feel like the highlight of that trip more than anything was meeting the mayor of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Because he started out like us. He was telling
Yeah.
us he was a student leader, and he grew into now the mayor.
Yeah.
So that was very, very cool, honestly.
So now speaking about, him telling you guys the journey about how he ended up being a mayor. Do you think one day maybe
President, maybe.
You never know.
You never know.
how
You
the future's
honestly
looking
never know.
Yeah. But now how has it been like? I know Miss UJ APK 2024 finale is just around the corner. How has it been with you being involved with the finalists for this year, the preps and the responsibilities that are up on your shoulders?
It's nice to be on the other side, I have to say, but it's
Yeah.
also so much work. The background is so much work. So we just announced our top 10 finalists
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
And even before we got to that point, it was meetings every day. So to the
Yeah.
outside world, it seems like, we open the auditions, then we pick people, but there's
Yeah.
been so much preparations. There's an amazing team working together, but it's been very fun. Like, it's so nice to invest into the show because I feel like we had such an amazing show in my year.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure we're investing everything into the show so that the next queen can have the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Am I going to be invited as a judge?
Definitely. You should come through. You have all the experience in the world.
Okay, no, I like that. I like that. But like, let's speak about your crown, your purpose, because I know that entering into a pageant, you obviously need to have a pageant platform. Like, what are you going to do with your crown once you win, right? So you entering into the platform, when you were asked the question, what do you want to do if you were to be crowned Miss UJ APK? What was your answer, and what did you do with that answer?
My answer to that question was I wanted to connect people. I wanted people to be aware of the resources around them, right?
Yeah.
And it seemed like a very vague answer. No one understood what I meant. And I remember my interview with you right after
Yeah.
winning. I told you, you may not get it, but I'm going to show you guys. Like, I'm going to show you what I mean.
Yeah.
And what I meant by that, I feel like people come into this university space and feel like they are alone,
Yeah.
right? So I just made sure that people are aware of these support structures within UJ. I've done collaborations with SciCat, with community engagement, always putting the word out there. There's meal assistance. I'm texting every person I see. I'm like, take my number. I'll let you know there's this to help you. There's this to help you.
Yeah.
Even with communities outside UJ, people, yesterday we had an event at a children's home. So when they were telling them about UJ, this is how you apply for UJ. This is how, giving people the resources, because being in this big world and feeling you don't know where to go is not a nice place to be. So that was my goal. I tried to do that within UJ and outside of UJ.
Yeah, in my history of being in pageantry, right? Obviously, you would go into a pageant with a certain goal, your pageant
Yes.
platform, and at the end of the day, you want to make a difference in someone's life.
Definitely.
So, do you think that you have made difference in people's lives?
I think so. I would honestly like to think so, because I feel like I've learned to realize that my superpower is my voice.
Yeah.
And Tulani Nzokiana is even the one who told me that during the training for
Yeah.
Miss APK. She told me that like your voice is your superpower. So everywhere that I go, I always like make sure I plan out what to say. Like I never wanna go to an event and just, hi guys, I'm here, I'm a pretty face. Because you never know who in that room is listening, what's impacting them. Even at yesterday's event when we were connecting to one of the kids, it wasn't even like a big speech in front of everyone. It was just a one-on-one conversation. And she cried. She's like, okay, now I feel like I can have confidence as much
Yeah.
as you do. So I feel like I have touched a few lives. I hope so.
Yeah, but what are you going to be doing after you give her the crown in a month's time?
I feel like echoing on the whole voice superpower thing.
Yeah.
I want to go into the space of being an MC, a presenter, a speaker. So I feel like that's the direction in which I want to grow.
Yeah.
I feel like one of my, people I look up to is Unomza Mambata.
Yeah.
Unomza Mambata is always speaking at this convention,
Yeah.
at this. And I feel like that's where I want to grow and take the philanthropy with me as well. So not just be speaking, but have the work to back it up as well. So I feel like that's the space I want to grow into.
Oh, I like that. I definitely see the future. Yeah, guys, this is so beautiful. Hey, but now speaking about the future, how is the future looking like? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? We're not even going to say 10 because 10 is like, you might say it's far, but it's not far. But let's start with 5.
With 5 years, in the next 5 years, so I would have 1 Miss South Africa, 1 Miss Universe.
Okay, listen. From here, I'm going to be taking an autograph, okay?
So I would have won all those big things. But
Yeah.
for me, the goal is diplomacy, United Nations. You know, it's not a easy way to get to there. There's so many loops to go through there. But I just see myself on that journey to working with the United Nations, getting into diplomacy and everything. So that's my life in the next 5 years.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So now to a student who is currently, well, a student, whether it's at UJ or another university in the country, what advice do you have for them? They're currently struggling at the moment academically, and they're finding it very difficult to balance school with their responsibilities and hobbies and friends and social pressure, and and having to also like impress family or do well so that the family can be like, okay, Mtanam, you did well.
Yeah.
But what would you have to say to a student who is feeling like they're struggling at the moment?
I feel like more than anything, you should be doing it for yourself. I know in the Black culture, you obviously are always doing it for your family, but do it for yourself. At the end of the day, it's you who's suffering through the pain and the test and everything else. So make sure you're doing it for yourself and always put yourself first.
Yeah.
Take time to rest. Like always take time to rest, have outlets, have things where you can, take your stress out on. I feel like more than anything, it's not always about passing. And I remember my mom told me this, like, it's not always about passing and getting the straight A's. Yes, that's amazing, but you have to be okay at the end of the day. So if you're going to walk across that stage with your degree and you feel like you're not okay inside, was it even worth it, So just at every step, try to take care of yourself. And when you're feeling down, allow yourself to feel down. Like, that's one thing I believe in. Like, if I'm sad today, I'm going to let myself be sad. This test is difficult. Everything is horrible. But I time myself. My world can only end for 6 hours. After that, I have to do something about it. Because I can't sit in that space of feeling bad for myself forever. So I feel like try that. Like, just allow yourself to feel the emotions, but also don't be a victim as well. Tell myself, okay, I'm moving on. I'm going to move on in this way, like small little ways, and try to move on from that.
Yeah, in the words of Miss UJ APK. Kwandi, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Truly appreciate it. Your journey has been amazing. We witnessed it. We saw you on a plane. We saw you in the States doing beautiful things, representing us, representing the country. And we wish you the best. And
Thank you so much.
I certainly believe that I'm going to be reading about you, saying Kwandiwe Sobuwa, representative of the United Nations.
Yes.
So I can't wait to see how the future is going to unfold like, but I definitely know that it's going to be brighter.
Thank you so much.
That, right?
Thank you.
All right, so this is where we are going to leave it for today's episode. Until I see you on the next one, enjoy and take care of yourself. Bye.